Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is Dr. Spurs here again, and as promised, I am bringing you a second replay submitted to me by Dubside tonight for your viewing pleasure. And I don't know, thought I'd cast another game with a Zerg. This game is a little bit different than the last one, and if you haven't already noticed, you will hear in a second, but we have Dubside spawning as the red Zerg here in the upper right hand corner of the map, and down here representing the ladder is TriniCron, who is the, I'm assuming that's right, who is the blue Terran, who is spawning in the lower left hand position. He's even got a cool decal here. You might be able to see it, you might not, but it actually signifies like 500 Team Protoss wins, so I'm confused as to why he's Terran now with a Protoss decal, but never mind that. The map is Tal'Darim Altar. It is one that I personally absolutely hate, and there are 4 watchtowers here in the middle to watch every cardinal direction on this gigantic map. The spawning locations are cross-spawn, which is honestly a Terran nightmare. For me, at least, I hate being cross-spawns against a Zerg. But this map is absolutely huge. Just a lot of weird things that can go on. We might see a Reactor Hellion out of the Terran, as that is like the standard opening here against a Zerg. But we will go ahead and see a really fast wall-in by TriniCron, and that kind of suggests a few things. For one, it suggests paranoia, like he is worried about a 10 pool or a 6 pool or something crazy like that. It also suggests that he is going to go straight for some kind of tech play, maybe like a Cloak Banshee rush, or some other kind of opening that requires time, and walls are just there to buy you time. We do see that Dubside's drone will be scouting that there is a wall here, and if the supply depots are down, oh, okay, they have corrected themselves in time for the drone. But he will be able to, or he will be seeing that there is a wall here, and he can infer that there might be some tech going on here. But if we look at the north end and northeast end of the map, that Dubside did pick up the standard 14 hatch right away, and then picked up his gas, and then the pool to follow. So very standard, very normal, very universal build coming out of Dubside here. Nothing surprising, nothing crazy just yet. We do have an Overlord who is floating his way over here. And, oh, instead of a tech choice, we do see that TriniCron is actually going to go ahead and pick up another command center. He's only got 1 Marine to defend it, and I really don't like this idea, because every time I've tried going like a really early command center, oh man, my brain needs oxygen. And lots of it. Anyway, anytime I go for like an early command center against a Zerg, they just spam speedlings before I get siege tanks out, and they just win. And there's really not much I can do about it. Maybe that's because I'm bad. Maybe there is a smarter way to do it that we will see TriniCron demonstrate. I don't know what to think of this move. I'm actually blindsided that he's double expoing. Like, what? He's double expoing. Well, this is certainly going to be one of the more interesting games I've seen in a while, as the Terran will be a base ahead of the Zerg really quickly as to whether or not he can get the troops out to support that, or whether it goes unscouted. Why am I yawning? This is not a boring game. This is one of the strangest things I've seen in a while, and I'm yawning. But it's not boring. It's by no means boring. We do see that TriniCron is picking up more barracks here. He will be spamming barracks to get Marines out to defend these expos. But Dubside so far is unaware that his opponent is going for these this is just stupid amount of expos. He will be teching to lair, as I am sure Dubside's first reaction is maybe like a Cloaked Banshee rush, and he wants to have Munas out, maybe? I don't know. If he was worried about Cloaked Banshees, we would probably see an Evolution Chamber by now, but alas, we do not. So he will be picking up 2 Spire Crawlers here, just on the basis that there is something on the way. There are 2 Lings here waiting on the outside of the base to see any kind of army that rolls out, and this Overlord will camp this natural 3rd here, but it looks like TriniCron's just going to go ahead and opt for this 4th, which, I mean, this is risky. If it gets scouted, it is very hard to defend. But if it goes unscouted, which of course he plans on doing, this SCV will, yes, it will actually die. If it goes unscouted, then he, he won't have to defend it, and he can just get just a bunch of money, right under Dubside's nose. So, scouting, oh man, scouting will be key. I don't know why I'm yawning. It's only like 12 o'clock. It's not that bad. We do see the lair has finished for Dubside, and he is ready to go with his higher tech. We do see a mutiden, but where is the mutiden being placed? There it is, in the back of his main. Mutas are on the way. This is a very fast tech to Mutas. He's just going like straight to Mutas, man. He is not goofing around. And it looks like our Terran player TriniCron is already putting up turrets, and that is like one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. Not the turrets are very standard, but he's moving out with 3 Reapers to secure watchtowers, I'm assuming. But yeah, it looks like he's just securing watchtowers. But why are these Reapers? Like, and he's got a sensor tower, so he will see any kind of, well, he will see the movement of the mutas if they move through this giant circle. But TriniCron is making a lot of not necessarily bad, but just interesting choices here. This one expansion might actually be scouted if the Marines don't respond in time, and it looks like they won't. This expansion will go ahead and be scouted, and if Dubside sees the natural, he will be completely aware that his opponent double expo, but whether or not it is too late is yet to be determined. We do see these 3 Reapers are just kind of wandering around the map, and they will be jumping over this ledge at some point. Wow, that is really cool. He will, I'm sure, take these Reapers, jump them up over the ledge, and just harass the mineral line. But the Queen will be there to defend it, so as to how effective it will be, it remains to be seen, but I can definitely see the merit to what he's doing there, and we do see +1 air attacks are on the way, and 5 mutas have reached the field of battle. And I just kicked the microphone off my face by kicking a wire. So don't do that if you value your microphone. And we do see he is making more Zerglings. A Baneling nest is on the way. The scan will reveal that the Mutiden has finished, and that his Muta scare is appropriate, but he only has these 2 turrets here. I thought this was a turret earlier in the game, but he already does have 2 turrets in the natural and 1 turret in the main, so these mutas will not be doing a lot of harassing. He will in fact lose 1 and take a lot of damage on 2 level 40 retreats, and that harass did not get its money's worth, but we do see Dubside is taking steps towards a 3rd right now. So as to what he continues to produce, it remains to be seen. He will have, I already said that expression. We do have 2 more mutas on the way. These 4 are continuing to just poke around, just see what's going on here. I'm sure they ran into this missile detector and immediately just turned by. But these Reapers are just anxiously lying in wait for the order to go in and try to kill as many drones as they can. We have more Overlords just kind of moving around, getting as much map control as possible, and TriniCron is moving. Is the confusion stimulating my yawning? Because he is picking up his 3rd here, he's also picking up his 4th, so TriniCron he's playing like a Zerg, man. He's gobbling up as many expos as he can, but he's got so much money. He's got 1k in minerals and 600 in gas just backed up. So yeah, it's awesome that he's got all of these expos going down. He's got his 3rd ahead of the Zergs, which is so cool. But he's just not spending his money fast enough. It seems like he doesn't really know what to do with it. In fact, he's supply blocked, so I mean, he could just go ahead and spend it all on supply depots and just continue his macro. But I'm sure this is not something he does every day. If it is something he does every day, he needs to work on spending his money. We do see that Dubside is also banked 1k minerals and 500 gas. We do see Dubside is picking up his 4th here, right next to the Reapers. If these Reapers moved in right now, they could probably snipe this, but the amount of HP is gaining is very quick. Wow, that was kind of weird to say. And they do 30 damage apiece to structures. So they definitely could have sniped this hatchery before it completed. However, TriniCron is not paying full attention. We do see a very large flock of mutas on the way, and this will be very devastating, but it looks like, never mind, TriniCron is one step ahead with his turrets here. He's got plenty of turrets all over the place to make sure that these mutas don't do as much harass, but this expo will be kind of off on its own. It will be TriniCron's fourth to match Dubside's fourth, but it will be kind of off on its own. There are no turrets down yet, and if Dubside catches wind of that, he almost lost this muta here. If he catches wind of that, he can definitely deny this expo, and it looks like that's where he's headed right after he picks off this refinery. So he's going to slow down the mining of the gas here, even get a few worker kills before leaving, and not losing any mutas. Fantastic there. Did not lose a muta. And will slow down the what appears to be a transition into like a bio play, because I mean he's only running these barracks, and it looks like he might switch this reactor onto the starport. We might see that here in a second, and that would confirm my suspicion. Forget it. There's mutas attacking and denying, and this expo over here. These turrets are too little too late, and these mutas will be flying away though, so they might actually get down. Oh, they will kill the... Nope, they actually will fly right over the SCVs that are going to build the turrets. It looks like he saw that on his minimap, and he will be swinging around and dealing with that accordingly. He has Somlings here, so the creep has spotted these Reapers, and this is actually really sad to see that these Reapers didn't actually do anything. They just kind of floated their way over and were killed just doing nothing, which is very sad. Very unfortunate. These mutas did clean up all of those SCVs and preventing the turrets from going down, which, I mean, would be like a terrible situation, but, I mean, it's 16 minutes into the game, and TriniCron was looking for his fourth. I mean, that's a combination between, like, super greedy and, like, super amazing, like, if he got that fourth down uncontested. But is Dubside actually aware that he does know that his opponent is on 3 bases and that he has matched to a fourth, and he is denying the fourth actively, so Dubside is probably feeling very strong in his position, and I would tend to agree. Unless he loses his muta count, it is not worth this expansion. He is going to run away. The Stim Marines are not going to catch the mutas. Ooh, excuse me. And that hurts. That stim right there without a medevac, that honestly really hurts. Every stim counts. We do see that TriniCron is pulling down those mules to repair this command center before it becomes an orbital or a planetary fortress. And 6 Marauders are moving out to what I'm assuming is deny this expo, but they will be meet and greeted by 6 Zerglings and a Queen. So that might be enough time for Dubside to react accordingly and send the rest of his lings down to deal with it. But it looks like the Marauders will kill the Queen, which will slow the larva production for Dubside down, and the lings will not be enough right now. But as I said earlier, they are enough to buy time for Dubside to get the rest of his army over here to clean this up. And these Marauders, in my opinion, just did jack. They did not pay for themselves. They are running into the corner here, but the mutas have arrived, and alas, they cannot shoot air. They cannot angle their guns at a 45-degree angle. Nobody taught them in boot camp, man. And what in the world? He actually got that upgrade that upgrades your capacity for bunkers? He got all 3 of the Terran building upgrades, and all... Oh, by the way, my suspicion was correct. He did switch the add-on and then proceeded to not use it. But alas, he picked up every upgrade. He picked up the Terran structure plating. He picked up the range on the auto turrets, missile turrets, and planetary fortress, and he picked up the upgrade on the bunkers to increase the capacity. Like, I have never seen that. I have never seen a Terran pick up any of those 3 upgrades. So, like, it's groundbreaking to me to see. Like, I mean, they're not being used, of course. I mean, why would you upgrade your bunkers and then not use them? I mean, you don't use upgraded bunkers. You gotta stick with the normal bunkers, but just the fact that he has those upgrades is crazy. Definitely not something I expected to see, but we do see Dubside is not really transitioning. This has probably been his goal the whole game, to go into this mass baneling muta play. That we do see the mutas are marauding around the map. I like to use that term when an army is just kind of walking around. He is actively searching for any 5th that the Terran player might have. He has given up on denying this expo, despite the fact that he might... he doesn't really have critical mass muta to deal with all of those missile turrets, but we do see an interesting choice here of infestors. that have arrived on the field. They do have fungal growth, so I think he already researched pathogen glands. He has, but no neuroparasite yet, and no neuroparasite on the way, but he will be getting adrenaline. It's not adrenal, that's so Brood War. Adrenaline glands, chitinous plating, melee 3/3, and 6 ultras. Like, oh my gosh, and he's even getting the greater spire. So I get the feeling that he has reached max cap, Dubside. Dubside has. That was kind of weird. He will go ahead and lose a few mutas, but I mean, he's a max cap here. But he is setting the stage for some really high tier 3 units, and it could be really devastating. And I don't know why I whispered that. Dubside is taking a 5th now, so he definitely can afford these tier 3. And this will demonstrate just the raw power of a Zerg who has been unattended to the whole game. And like the Terran has, as I said earlier, committed to this bio MMM ball. And he will be doing drops. And these SCVs just keep suiciding themselves, which is really unfortunate to see. But I mean, he's got SCVs to spare. He's at 82, which is a little too much in my opinion. I think you should definitely stop around 75, and wow, that is definitely not what he wanted to see, I am sure. He's just going to go ahead and fly. Oh, my camera froze up there for a second. Fly right over all these tier 3 units, and I mean, they're even going to just ignore this drop here. The infestors are there to deal with it, but the drop does go down in the natural, killing a lot of drones, actually. This whole dropping thing is doing a lot of damage. He's killing 23 workers, but no, it's climbing up into the 30s now, and Dubside's worker count has been severely damaged. He did clean up this drop in the natural fairly easily. There's even a push going on in the 5th up here, so the Terran player spreading his forces thin, getting a lot of drone kills, which is exactly what he wants to see. We do see another planetary fortress here down in the corner. Dubside moving his army around to deal with those 2 marauders here that are left, but it looks like he's just going to go ahead and lose his 4th as well, so Dubside is now on 3 bases, but I'm sure 12 Ultralisks are on the way with that freed up supply of the lost mutas, which I don't know what happened to those mutas. I didn't see. That is my bad. Are they even still on the map? They're probably still... No, he just kind of lost all his mutas somewhere in there. That is my bad. That is my failure. I do not have the expertise to know what happened to these mutas. It looks like he's just going to run these lings in here to try to snipe this planetary fortress, but it's honestly being a total boss right now. It's killing a bunch of lings, and these turrets are even trying to prevent the surround here, but the ultras, in fact, will have the surround. A few bantlings going off on the SCVs, and that will do it for that. That planetary fortress is actually a lot tougher than I would have given it credit for, but the ultras proved to be tougher. That was kind of weird to say. It was a lot tougher, but it proved... Oh, wow, a nice conga line here of Ultralisks. There's just a huge number of Ultralisks on the field right now. If we open up the units tab, 18 Ultras is not enough for one Thor, which is all TriniCron has here. To handle. That's just a lot of Ultralisks. Dubside will be moving in to engage on this 3rd over here. I'm not sure if he is aware of this. He is aware of the 5th that's trying to be built, 5th and 6th rather, as well. I'm sure he can infer that there is a 4th over there, but he is mobilizing against this 3rd, which has full energy, which is kind of upsetting to see. But both players now are capped at 200, and their resources are just skyrocketing. TriniCron is right at about the amount of workers that he really wants to be. Dubside is sitting at 38, but at this point, really being at 38 workers with this much money banked in both players' banks is really an advantage because, oh my gosh, free Thor! There is one Banshee here that is going to try to brave the storm, but it might not be enough damage output. But as I was saying earlier, having less workers really frees up his supply to have things like a stupid number of Ultralisks that are now going to town and everything. There is one Banshee trying to be a hero. And oh my goodness, the upgraded bunker isn't even being used. Oh my gosh, look at all these queued up units that had no rally point. Like, what is going on? Oh my gosh, he is trying to micro the front. He did seem to, like, just go ahead and stim and run the units. And we do have a base race on our hands, and it looks like it will force Dubside to pull his Ultras back and to try to save his bases. As I think I agree with that call. I don't know if the Ultralisks would have been enough DPS to kill this force before this force killed his base. But it is only Marauders, and there is this one Mutalisk here that is being a BA, but the Marauders will tear into the Ultras. It looks like Dubside's just switching right back into the Mutas to deal with this singular Banshee and all of these Marauders. And what once was a scary, scary force has now dwindled into nothing, really. The Greater Spire is still here, and the Ultralisk Cavern, I think, just got sniped. But I mean, he can still switch to Broodlords. He's got a lot of mutas here, and there is even a one Raven that has enough energy for a point defense room, but will not put down, I don't think. Oh, he will, in time to keep his Ravens, or not his Marauders alive just a little bit longer, but it will be slightly in vain. And Dubside is in a really strong position here. He just has a stupid number of Ultras. He has more Ultras than a guy could want at this point, and this one Viking is going uncontested, but now PDD is down, so he will be killed eventually. But not before he takes an Overlord with him to try to supply block his 200-200 enemy. And TriniCron is desperately clinging to some sick hope here, trying to get another base down here, and even expanding again. Like, TriniCron, your priorities are all out of order, dude. Like, you're trying to expand without an army. Like, you haven't even spent the money you have. And Dubside is just going to walk in here and just kill this planetary fortress off the SCVs. The SCVs not even going to try to repair the planetary fortress. There's just nobody made it through that. Like these two kind of went around the Ultralisk, but all of the SCVs that went through the Ultras just got demolished as Ultras put out a lot of hurt. They have 6 armor, which is absolutely obnoxious. 21 damage and 47 armor. And Dubside is picking off the last remnants of the economy, forcing another lift, but TriniCron does have a force that is not really to be reckoned with, but I mean, it is definitely one of those forces that you would attribute to a Last Stand scene in a movie. And then it's kind of funny that the orbital command will just go ahead and fly. Oh, that SCV! Oh my god, did anyone else see that? Did anyone else see that SCV just walk through all the Ultras? Like, oh, hey guys, what's up? Yeah, I'm on my coffee break, you know. Oh, how's your day going? Oh, yeah, oh, totally, yeah. The weather's fine. Screw you guys, I'm gonna go mine minerals. And the Ultras just kind of high-fived him with their giant tusk things. Like, I am so shocked that SCV got out alive. Like, it blows my mind. I'm so happy I got to see that. I mean, not only is it a sight to see, like 20-some Ultras just charging. Oh my gosh, they're melting pretty fast to these. Well, they were rather to the Marauders. The Marauders did kill a lot more Ultralists. They killed like 8, which is a lot more than I would have given them credit for. These Banshees will go unchecked. They don't have cloak, but they will focus down all the Ultras. But the Mutas have arrived to save the day, so these Banshees are going to be taken out, and there's nothing left for TriniCron, and he will go ahead and throw up the GG as these Ultras tear into the base. And this one Banshee even giving me a cool explosion to look at the end of the game. But that was that. We do see that Dubside did recover nicely over the course of all of that aggression, picking up more expansions here, and TriniCron just trying his darndest to get another 2 expos down. But man, TriniCron, like, all of his money is gone. Holy crap, he spent all of that money? I mean, he's running, like, 7 barracks. I'm sure he was running, like, 1 or 2 more before it died, but, I mean, he should have been running a lot more. Wow, that was a pretty sweet game. Now I can yawn, because the game is over. Do my post-game stretches here before I talk about what I just saw. Give me a second. Yeah, stretching feels good. Alright, so what do we see here? That was really cool. I liked what TriniCron was doing. And it's like, yes and no. I liked his whole... Come on, hit play. I liked his whole, I'm gonna grab a bunch of expos thing, just because he kept it hidden for long. I think it's because he kept it hidden long enough for him to get his money's worth out of him. Because, I mean, if these expos would have been scouted, that's just GG right there. But I did like that. That was really cool. Definitely something that can be explored a little more. another couple of things to note. That's not a big deal. I liked the Reapers. There they go. I liked this a lot. Oh, I lost him. Oh, I lost him again. I liked these Reapers a lot. I honestly did. I think this was really cool and had a lot of potential if he would have jumped up this cliff right here and abused that cliff jump and just done a lot of gotten a lot of drone kills and some scouting information. He would have seen the banelings are on the way, and even the upgrades are on the way. I don't believe this. He did start one melee. He started one armor upgrades for the Marines first. I liked the Reapers a lot. I liked the third here. I liked getting the fourth. I liked how the Reapers did nothing about the fourth. I liked the Mutas here. The Mutas just camping. I mean, Dubside, I'm sure, knew that this expansion was on the way, so I like that he denied that as long as possible. And he is picking up the Hive here as the fourth is going down. And the Terran's even getting, like, ship upgrades for his dropships, which is a little bewildering. Yeah, this Terran is on top of his upgrades. I think that's fantastic. That he's just upgrading the BGs. It looks like Dubside was on top of his upgrades too, because he's already hit 2-2 before the Terran. He's starting 3-3. I liked the Infestors were a nice thought. They didn't really do much from what I saw. They get sniped here. I'm pretty sure they get a few fungals off. Yeah, they fungal growth a few times and really do a lot of damage to this drop. That's really the presence Infestors have. Just this whole TriniCron, man, I really think, I mean, he's at 3,000, and he just lost the next one. Probably. He could have defended if he had spent that money on an army. I think that's where TriniCron really lost this game, is he tried to secure more income than he could actually defend. And he tried pressing a base race, but Dubside, I like that he pulled back. It would have been a lot closer of a game. Dubside would have actually, I think, lost. Yeah, he would have traded the entire base, but those Marauders could have definitely ripped apart his before he could get to these two hidden expos, which he is dealing with now. So, interesting things, food for thought. Cool playstyle on the Terran. Sad to see that it didn't actually work out. Can you believe we just went through that whole game in like a minute? Imagine if we just watched it for the first time. It's never going to go. Are those ultras? How many ultras does he have? And by the time you realize there's ultras, it's over. But cool game. That is all. Thanks for sitting through the replay. Oh my gosh, he had level 3 attack for the... Like, both players are really on top of their upgrades here. But thank you for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can check out more games as I post them in my free time. I generally post, like, late at night. I mean, it's currently, I think, somewhere around, like, 1 in the morning, and I'm casting a replay instead of actually doing a lab report, which I should do, but I will blow that off for just a little longer. But thank you for joining me, and that is that. Where's the button?